Good evening. I was going to tell you how far away I am from Albany and also what temperature it is, and I don't know either, to be exact. I'm almost in Albany, not quite. I'll get there when I get there, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you. And currently outside, I'm guessing it's around about, I'm going to say about 5 degrees centigrade, which would be, I've forgotten the calculation. It's not a lot. It's a bit cool. It's a bit chilly. And it's very chilly because I haven't got the heater on because I left it off while I did a bit of cleaning up. And this is looking pretty good. This is looking roughly what I wanted it to look like at 7 o'clock yesterday morning. And it's currently about 7 p.m. So 36 hours ago, I wanted to be in this sort of situation. Unfortunately, the very, very kind offer that I got for a lift went from, I'll give you a call around about 7 to a missed call at 6:02 a.m. And then a call that got through to me at about 20 past 6. See you in 15 minutes. Yikes. And so, you know what that old thing about when you lose a bit of time at the start of the day, sometimes you don't get it back? Pretty much that's what happened to me yesterday. So by about 8 a.m, I said, do you know what? Why don't I get my bags out of here? You can keep going and I'll see you when I'm looking at you. That person, my driver, I believe he's roughly on stage at the moment, or he's about to go on stage later this evening. So if you're in Albany, get yourself along to the hall. My name is Bill Quinn. In 10 days' time, I'll be turning 60 years old. When I look in the mirror at the moment, and I've blocked that off so I don't have to look in the mirror, I'm looking my age. In fact, I was in the pub at lunchtime, and I just overheard somebody say something about the world turned upside down. And I said, oh my God, I haven't sung that song for ages. And he looked at me like I was mad. And I said, I need to go and learn some lyrics. But first of all, I need to have a good sleep. And he looked at me and he said, you look like you need a sleep. And I looked in the mirror a bit later and I thought, yeah, I look like I'm about 85, no, about 80, about to turn 80, not 60. So I'm going to not go to the pub this evening. I'd love to. I'd love to go up and get a nice lamb shank or a nice, beef Guinness pie or something like that, and a glass of red or two, and then walk back sedately back across the river, back to where I'm staying at the moment. I'm not going to. I believe that would be a recipe for disaster because I'm presenting at the moment as somebody a bit wild, a bit woolly, a bit furry, a bit red in the face. And as soon as I meet and up at that pub, I've met some of the most amazing, not the most, I've met some really amazing people from ages 3 to, how old's Ted? 70, he told me, I think he said 73. Yeah, Ted. And he was very chuffed when I told him about Ted over there. Yes, I know, this is the greatest hits of my life. And I will give you the greatest hits a little bit later. I'm going to stay in tonight. It's coming up to about 7 o'clock. It's currently 6 minutes to 7. So I'm going to go in there and have a shower and a shave and not a haircut. I could get rid of my, it's not that long, but I'm not going to, because knowing me, I'll nick myself, and then the next thing I know, I'm getting infections and on my very, very rough, ready skin. It looks like I've had a chemical peel because I keep putting hand sanitizer on my face. And then I looked in the mirror a couple of days ago when I was in Preston. I was in Preston on the corner of Bell Street and Hotham Street in Preston, Victoria. And I went into the bathrooms at some point in the proceedings over buffet breakfast, and I looked in the mirror and I came outside and I said to the server, Helen, why didn't you tell me that I had skin sloughing off my face? And she said, oh, I just thought you weren't that healthy. And I went, no, I've just put hand sanitizer on my head and I've got to go basically give myself a chemical peel. I said, I can fix that. I came back about half an hour later and she said, oh, what did you do? Are you some sort of magician? And I said, no, I just put oil. I've just put this amazing oil stuff that I've got. It's in the bathroom. All my, toiletries and stuff are in there, plus all my drinks. I've got some soda water, some tonic water, I've got some ginger ale I think is in the fridge. Yeah, and I haven't touched the milk. So I'm going to stay in tonight. No alcohol. I had 2 drinks. What have I done here? That's what that's about. All right, we can fix that one really easily. No, still. Let's go. Oh, it must be that bottle. It doesn't have that bottle. Or maybe the seal is broken. That's it. Like I bought one. So, oh yeah, I mustn't forget to take my fridge magnets. And I've got to be careful with the fridge magnets because I've got all these little data things and thumb drives and what have you, and cards with stripes on them. The swipey cards with stripes on them. Magnets, credit cards, things with data on them and magnets don't play nicely together. I think I said magnets twice. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to stay in because in about 20 minutes, just over, the next stage of the Tour de France is on. It's Saturday night, it's Saturday day in France. I'm going to watch some cycling. I might even do a bit of posting to Blue Sky or to Facebook. And the hashtag is Couch Peloton. Couch, C-O-U-C-H. I don't have a couch here. Peloton, the bulk of the riders. Not the ones at the front, but the bulk of the riders, the Peloton. And that's pretty much where I am. I'm a supporter. I'm not a grimper. A grimper is I'm not a plongeur. No, I can't remember the words. But there's all these different names for different parts of the team in a cycling thing. And I've never done it myself. I've loved watching it, but I haven't been watching it for a while for reasons. And in life, as in singing, as in being a human being, I'm support crew. I'm the one that's going back to the race car to pick up drinks and bring them up the front to the sprinters, to the climbers, to the ones going out in the front doing the aggressive riding and doing the combative. The combative, they're the ones that go out ahead and they pretty much give themselves up getting towards the end, depending on what sort of stage it is. If it's a flat stage, that gets a bit dull because you pretty much, it could be 200 kilometres and you go for the first 190 odd, you're just pretty much moseying along. If they're in the hills, and I think they've already been in the Pyrenees, I honestly do not know what they're up to tonight, what stage it is. I don't know where they are. I'm guessing it'll be either down the south. Now, I think they're through the Pyrenees, so they might be over to the east side of the country and heading up sort of around Aix-en-Provence is a bit further down south, getting up towards Strasbourg or Grenoble's right up there, Mont Blanc, Chamonix. I honestly don't know. I'll find out in about 22 minutes. So I'm going to go and have a shower, have a shave, and I've got my dinner in a bag around here somewhere. Don't know where, but it's here. So I've got dinner, I've got coffee, I've got lots and lots of drinks, and I've been pounding myself with the tonic water with the not so much the ginger ale because that's got a lot of sugar in it. I do use that sparingly. But I've got ginger, ground ginger, turmeric, garlic, and a whole bunch of other things. So I'm going to do a little bit of looking after myself tonight. And if you want to say, oh, it's good to see that you're staying in, you're having some relaxation, what I would say to that is, fuck off. If you don't know me, you don't know me. So please don't say, take it easy, just relax. If you don't know me, you know me very well. If you do, know that I would much rather be up at the pub, playing pool like I was with Haley and Liam last night, talking about music with Mitch, swapping stories with Ted and Aaron. Oh, glory be. What a champion couple of people they are. Aaron, my God, we had some stuff to talk about. Ted and I. Ted is a mine of Western Australian history and information about the landforms, and then there's all of the lovely bar people whose names I do not know and did not ask. I know one's from Limerick, one's from Longford, and I don't know about the others. Don't know their names, they don't have name tags, and they're about my granddaughter's ages, so I don't look at their chests if they did have their name tags, and I don't ask their names or where they're from. If they offer it, then that's gravy. But yeah. I said this to somebody yesterday morning, and I was really surprised at their reaction. I said, "Oh, don't ask where you're from. That's illegal." Anyway, what do you mean illegal? And it turned out that person believes. And look, honestly, that person, they're much more with the life that they've lived and the things that they've done. I fully believe that for them, in their contexts, it's very, very, very appropriate for them to ask other people, where are you from? Because it's basically the guy's job. It's one of his many, many jobs. So I did not challenge that at all. So I said, look, I'm not even going to go there because, I'm not going to judge you because you lead a totally different life. And so that was a bit of an interesting thing. Because I lost that bit of time at the start, I was going to, you know what I was going to do? I was going to sit quietly. I thought, I don't know, it just shows you, how much you don't know somebody. In my mind, there was going to be music playing and I was going to have a quiet time. And do you know what I was going to do? Somewhere around here, there is a padlock that I found, and it's locked and it's got 4 spin wheels. So what's that? 9,900, whatever many combinations. I was going to sit there quietly, not say much, and basically 0001. No, 00002. No, 0000. No, and do that. It's an old thing. It's a suitcase. You know those briefcases with the flywheels? Usually there's 3. And it's an old trick that when the teacher's back's turned, you go up to the briefcase and you open it up and you click the little button and you change the combination. One of my teachers had that done to him, and he just said, oh, well, do you know what? I don't know who it is and I'm not going to make a big fuss about it. He just took it home, put the telly on, sat down after he had dinner and sat there and very, very patiently got to about 666 or whatever, went click. All right, I'm going to change it back to mine, and then I'll be a bit more careful about where I put my briefcase from now on in. So I was going to do that, but in the end, I lost all that time. The car would not stop talking. Oh my God. So the driver had borrowed the car to drive down on Friday, to perform on Saturday and drive back on Sunday. And I don't know if the settings were his doing or if it's the owners. I met the lovely owners, A full stop, and I want to say R full stop, but don't quote me on that. I did meet them. Lovely, lovely couple of people. I don't know if that's their thing, but this thing would not shut up. It was, you know, the sort of person who transmits their every waking thought. This car was the automobile version of that person who can't stop transmitting every waking thought. Oh, that's from Scrubs. Oh, I know. She's an amazing actor. And the episode of Scrubs, it's where Johnny C. McGinley, Dr. Cox, has to get some professional development hours out. And what he does is he does 2 back-to-back shifts doing the EMT run, emergency something transport, basically an ambulance driver, paramedic. And his mentor, his driver, can't stop talking, just cannot stop. And he just was going mad until he realized when somebody came